Hello and welcome back to Better Than Yesterday. My name is Michael Janssen van Rensburg, and as always, I am joined by my good friend Daniel Hammond. Today, we're here to talk to you guys about how you can get started with self-improvement for young men in 2022. We're going to be talking to you guys a little bit about some of the things that we started with our journey going into self-improvement, the things that you should implement into your life, the things that we think are really important and, pivotal to starting that journey of self-improvement. And yeah, it's just going to be a conversation about, how you can get into this, why you should get into this. And I'm super excited for it, man. How you been doing, Daniel?
Yeah, I've been doing good, bro. I must say, schedule is quite busy, bro. Like after this, I've still got a couple of things that I have to do for university. Just some,
I get you, man.
yeah, some stuff that I have to look at that we covered today. And yeah, man. But I've been doing good things, bro. And you?
Wonderful stuff, brother. Also, man, it's been really nice, I must say, to get back into university, having like a proper schedule. I must say, I was on holiday for so long, it felt like, and I needed this routine back in my life, bro. So I've been going to university. It's motivated me to start going to the gym more consistently now. We started our bulking process for that as well. I've been journaling more. I've been reading more. Even though I'm more busy at the moment, for some reason it almost feels like I have more time to do everything else because I'm in that mindset now where I'm just going for everything, bro. I'm doing all the right steps, and it feels good, man. It feels good to start working out again. It feels good to be journaling, reading, when you focus on the good habits rather than the bad habits, your life just gets better, man. So it's been great, man. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, no, true, bro. It's like that video we had about the what's it called, bro? We talked about this video yesterday, bro. Like our previous video, the book review. Yeah, so where
Yeah.
it says that you get motivated by you get motivated by starting doing the smaller
Yes.
things and
Yes, that's
and
true, man.
it's so real, bro. I've been experiencing it in my life right now. Like you said, journaling and just going to university and doing all the right things,
It's a
feeling that you're
snowball effect,
productive.
yeah.
Yeah, that's noble effect, and it feels like you want to
Mm,
just keep doing more, bro.
exactly,
And I
exactly.
must say, I'm still so hyped about yesterday, the same type of personality that we have. It's like we're the same
Yeah.
person, bro. Not really, but yeah.
No, I get you,
Dude,
man.
that's
Yeah,
just
yeah. That personality
amazing,
test
bro.
that we took, it is cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a
Exciting times,
it's
man.
such a blessing, bro. Yeah,
Exciting
exciting.
times. Yeah, man.
For sure.
So getting into this video, man, I think it's an important one to talk about.
Mhm.
Our channel sort of has been focused, we haven't really focused on it just being for young men. We focused on topics that can be applicable to anyone, starting their journey with self-improvement. But today we wanted to do a video sort of slightly more focused for young guys, maybe still in high school and how they can get started on that journey because realistically, that's where we were a few years ago, man. And I think
Yes.
we've got a lot of things to talk about there because realistically, bro, I remember us a few years back, man, and I must say, the journey that we've been on in the last 3 years, where we've been on this journey of improving ourselves and constantly trying to be better than yesterday, man. I think we've grown so much, man. Obviously, we've still got so much more growing to do. Daniel and I are both still 19 years old, but I just think, yeah, we've got quite a lot of value to add on this topic. So excited to get into it, man.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. I must say, the growth that I have now and where I was back then, bro. I've been experiencing this lately. I don't know if you've experienced it too, but those people that I was with a lot back then when
Mm,
I'm just gonna be honest and say I was quite like a loser or nerdy, like this
yeah,
just weird,
same, yeah, man.
awkward guy that didn't have high self-esteem. And I've
Mm,
noticed that those people haven't really seen the difference, but it's like they still see that guy. So now once I meet up with them, I introduce this new guy, and then they shocked by how different I am and the
sure.
progress I've made. They're like, you've grown and you're just such a different guy. And they don't necessarily have to say it, bro. It's just something that you
You
can
see.
feel. Like they
Mm,
start treating you differently.
mm,
And I must say this growth in my life started happening when I moved schools to Windhoek, where I moved to Windhoek High School. And there I just realized I'm at a place that I don't want to be because I went to the hostel, bro, and I just saw these other guys that are quite confident and they back themselves, and I was like,
Mm,
why isn't that the same for me? Why do I have a low value of myself? And
sure.
that could have been because I was bullied like grade 8 to 10. So that did play a huge role. And I
Mm,
must say that then I I started feeling like a bit depressed and anxious, and it's like I don't want to be this person. I want to value myself. I want to be confident,
amen.
and that's where it started for me. And then I started implementing these small things, but obviously it wasn't as smooth as the growth is now at like this stage. It feels like I'm growing tremendously every
Yeah.
month that goes by. Back then it was quite rough because I didn't know how to do it, but I knew I wanted to do it. So
Mm,
I must say spirituality was quite like really important for me.
amen,
I
bro.
started reading the Bible a lot, like started talking to God and like praying and
Mm,
leaning into those words, bro. Like and the different books in the Bible. And
sure,
I
man, sure.
started reading Daniel and David, bro. And I was like, these are my two names, bro. And I want to live up to my names. And
Sure,
I
man.
saw like what type of people they were and how they like valued themselves and
Mm,
just how they were totally themselves, and they didn't try and fit in or try to be a certain person, or they tried to like be this mold that everyone would like. They were totally them. They were Daniel and they were David, and
amen.
they did stand out, bro. Because I know with David, he's the one that slayed Goliath, bro, and all the
The
other guys were
giant.
scared. Yeah,
Mm,
the giant, bro, and he was this little boy that just went for it, bro. He was totally courageous, and that just gave me the motivation to
amen.
know, and the I don't know, like the ability to go to God and just say, God, please put that like in me and help me
Amen.
to trust in you fully. And that's where it started for me, bro. I don't know, like tell me
So
a bit
good, man.
about
So good.
you, man.
Sure,
Yeah.
man. That's really cool to hear, man. Actually, I hadn't really heard that from you before, bro. So that's really cool, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like that was also pretty much my first point, man. I think when it starts with self improvement, I think we had a similar journey around grade 10 was when I started with my journey of self improvement, man. And it was just this point where, as well, I realized, like I'm not happy with who I am right now. Again, like I looked at perhaps some people around me, and you have a vision in your head of who you want to be, but at the time, I just knew I wasn't that guy, man. I was the same. I had low self esteem. I wasn't good at talking to girls. I wasn't confident in even just making friends. Like I wouldn't say I was necessarily like a super shy introvert. I wasn't like the most shy guy necessarily, but I was almost in the middle. And I wanted to elevate myself like higher up into that. Because I knew my potential. I knew that I could, be doing these things and pushing myself a lot further and a lot harder than I was, man. And yeah, that was the thing, just looking in the mirror and saying like, hey, these are some things that I'm not happy with. And so I started to take active steps to improve on that. And like you say, man, I think the biggest thing, one of the biggest things when starting with self-improvement for young guys is like pushing into God, man, and into Christianity. I know it's not for everyone, but I think it's something that everyone can push into. Spirituality, like we said, man. I think reading the Bible, there's so much value there for any one person, man. And I think for young guys, looking for some inspiration and looking for a purpose, I think a sense of purpose is something that like all us young guys are looking for. And I find that in the Bible, man, and in my faith. So it's an amazing thing, man. Super super pivotal on my journey as well, man. But yeah, so once
Yeah.
I've gotten to that point of like realizing, okay, I'm not happy with who I am, then I think, and this is sort of a piece of advice for anyone who's starting their journey, is like you've got to take that time to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, cool. What are my weaknesses, and be like very honest with yourself. This is also another point that I have is be quite harsh on yourself, because realistically, you only have one chance to be the man that you've always wanted to be, man. So you've got to start taking those steps right now. If you're not harsh on yourself and you're like, oh, it's fine, it's fine that I'm like not confident and all these things. I'll get to it later. No, man, like you've got to be harsh on yourself. Say, this is unacceptable. I'm not happy with the way I am right now. And, take those steps, like target those weaknesses, man. So look at yourself in the mirror and be harsh. Point out those things. For you, it might not be that you're shy. Maybe it's something else, that you want to pinpoint in your life. But I think that is something that a lot of guys struggle with. It's like confidence, and self-motivation, believing in yourself. I think that's a problem for so many young guys. And that's why we're making this video, because I think there's a lot of guys that can, relate and will value from hearing about this kind of stuff, man. So be harsh on yourself, like don't give yourself any slack. Target those weaknesses and then actually take steps to improve on them. So for example, we've spoken about this in other videos before, but like what I did was going out in public and just forcing myself to go up to random people that I had like I didn't know them at all, and just like high-fiving them in the mall, for example, or approaching a girl and asking for numbers and that kind of thing. These kind of things that really get you out of your comfort zone, because that forces growth. It forces growth, man. And once you bring these things into the light, and then you just start to see those things going away. And slowly I became a little bit more confident. I was able to approach people more easily. Just it's one of those things that gets better with time. And then I just started becoming a more confident person, in situations. Like you said, I just backed myself more. You don't want to be going into a conversation or a situation with any group of people and you walk in there like with your shoulders slashed and you're like going in there like this, like, oh, what are they going to think of me? That's how I was before. But it was a slow process of building myself up, realizing the value that I had to bring to the table, finding that, in God and in other things as well. But yeah, man. So we'll get onto some more like practical things, that you can do to start bettering yourself. But I think that's sort of the mindset switch that you have to have in the beginning here, man.